Okay, pretend this is a bat. It's a purple parasol, but pretend it's a bat. And this looks like a ball, looks a little bit like a baseball, but it is, of course, my amazing cup of coffee this morning. Right off the bat is the idiom that I want to talk about today. How to use supersize your business right off the bat. Right off the bat, of course, comes from baseball. And as soon as that bat comes in contact with the ball immediately starts flying off. It means, our expression, of course, right off the bat, the idiom, comes from the 1800s. It's a baseball expression from the late 1800s. And it means immediately, without delay, something spontaneous. Could be, you know, right off the bat, or off the bat, or off the tip of your tongue is another expression that's similar to right off the bat. But I love this expression because it was a great meeting starter for me. I've used this expression for like decades, right? All the time I was in corporate America, if we were having a team meeting or a department head meeting or something and I needed to speak, or it was my turn to call the meeting to order, and you know how when you go into meetings or when you go into groups, everybody's chattering and talking about their own little agenda items and things that they want to, or whatever's going on with their families. And you need to call the meeting to order. Well, one of the fastest, easiest ways to do that was to say, hey, right off the bat, I want to recognize, or right off the bat, let's talk about, or right off the bat, let's welcome so-and-so. And so right off the bat is one of my favorite expressions because it's a way to draw everybody together and say, hey, let's get started with this right off the bat. Well, how can you use this besides starting meetings and discussions and talking to people and recognizing people? How can you use this expression to grow and build your business? Well, I like to use it to remind myself to act quickly, to make quick decisions when quick decisions and quick action is required. A lot of times in our businesses and in our lives, we drag out decisions, or we don't make decisions, or we procrastinate and put off making decisions and choices. And putting off decisions means we put off taking action. One of the fastest, easiest ways to grow and build your business is to be quicker than anybody else in your area or in your industry, to be quicker to market with ideas and thoughts, to be quicker to market with new ways of serving the people that you serve. So I like to ask myself, like there's more than one of me, I like to ask myself, what can or could or should I do about a certain thing, or with a certain thing, or with respect to a certain thing? Now, this question helps me to make a decision faster, and then as soon as I make a decision, as soon as I commit to something, I or someone else in my organization will take immediate action to move toward it. So say we decide we're going to launch a new product or a new service for the people that we serve, for our customers. As soon as we decide that, usually we get together and we brainstorm all of the ways that we're going to do and deliver that. But of that brainstorm list, then we pick one thing that we can act on immediately. What is one thing we can do to move us toward that immediately? Maybe it's we call a strategic partner. Maybe it's we look into suppliers and vendors of different materials that we need to put the product together. Maybe it is we find out, or we source, or we look for who is already doing that thing, and we just bring them into our organization so we can provide that product or service to our customers, our existing customers already. But the point is that we make a decision, we make a commitment, and then immediately we do something to move us toward that. We can do this in our lives as well. We can make a decision, and then as soon as we make that decision, ask ourselves, well, what is the next thing? Not what are all the things I need to do to get there? What are all the things I need to do to add $1 million to my bottom line? No, that's overwhelming. But what is the next thing that I need to do? Maybe the next thing that we need to do is find a way to bring new customers and more customers into our organization. Maybe we need to find ways to stop the bloodletting in one of our departments or in one of the areas of our business. Maybe, you know, it could be a whole spectrum of things. But another way I like to think of this right off the bat, and that helps me make immediate decisions, is to decide to look for the positives in any situation and ask myself, how can I do something? How can we do something? How can we help our customers? How can we serve our customers better? And that often leads to, when we feel like we're stuck, different answers and better choices and things that we can do. I know a lot of people are really up in the air right now with their lives and with their businesses with the whole coronavirus thing that's coming through. And we can focus on the things that aren't working, the things that are missing, the things that are different, or we can focus on what we can do. We can focus on what we can do to move forward with our businesses and our lives. We can focus on what is working in our business and in our lives. We can focus on how can we help and serve people in ways that we never even dreamt of or thought possible before. So right off the bat, instead of freaking out and thinking ain't it awful and worrying about all these things that aren't working the way they used to, let's all switch gears, flip the switch, and think about what are the ways that I can make this a benefit to myself, to my family, those I love and care about, and to the people that I serve. Now, I've gone from offline to online over the last couple of years. And so throughout this whole transition, I feel really grateful and fortunate that I'm probably not going to really miss a beat. I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing. I show up and I do videos every single day. I'm going to continue to do that. You know, even when I get sick, and have gotten sick in the past, I still struggle through and I do my videos, right? I had the flu over the holidays, but I still came on with my gravel gertie voice, and business as usual. And I think the more that we can do that, the more that we can find ways to continue to move forward in our life and in our businesses and lead by example for other people, I think the better and the faster that we'll all recover from this. And guess what? We will all recover from this. It's just like a storm. Our businesses, and we as business owners, I think are best suited to lead through this time because we're used to dealing with stuff. We're used to dealing with the hitting the fan and knowing what to do and figuring it out. We're solution focused, and as long as we're solution focused, we're the ones that will lead by example and help people through this time and times in the future that are bound to happen as well. That's it. That's all I've got today right off the bat. I love this expression. Would love to know your experience and your feelings, and if you've heard and used this expression as well and how it's worked for you. I got to tell you, it's one of my secret weapons to get things moving quickly for myself and for other people. When we want to accomplish things, we usually do them with other people. That's it. Have an absolutely awesome Monday, and I, of course, will be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where did it come from? And how might you use it to grow and build the business of your dreams? Have an awesome day, and I will be with you tomorrow. Bye.